Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the midweek. Wait, no, this is not the midweek war. This is a very, very special episode of the midweek war because we are going to be talking about all of season 2 of Lucha Underground, and it's not just a review. At the very end of this podcast, Eamon and I are going to do a watch party of the trailer for season 3 of Lucha Goddamn Underground. Eamon, I'm super excited.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy for this season so badly.
Oh man, and we don't have much to wait either.
We got about a month.
Yeah, less than that. Less than a month. It's like 4 weeks. It's like 3.5 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. It's less than a month, people. Less than a month before we get Lucha Underground season 3. And we are going to have Krista Joseph on before that. I don't know if we'll have Pentagon on again. I don't know if he'll tell us to eat a box of dicks. I have no idea what's going to happen with that.
Well, Vampiro, yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Friend of the show, Vampiro.
I would really like Pentagon to tell us to eat a box of dicks, though, too. That'd be great.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
But,
goddamn. All right. So, Eamon, where do you want to start with this? Because a lot of shit happened. Like when we opened season 2, Mil Muertes was running the temple, and that seems like years ago now.
Yeah. It's weird. Like it's weird to see how much it progressed from the start of season 2. I think season 2 was one of the coolest. It was probably one of the more memorable episodes of Lucha Underground of all time right now. That was such a fun way to to me. I don't know. It just encapsulated everything I love about Lucha. Like it felt like a television show. It felt like a full narrative being told out throughout, an hour of television.
Mm-hmm. And all right, so let's go, Eamon. If you had to pick, we'll go back and forth. We'll each pick 3 standouts from this season of Lucha Underground. I've just standout wrestlers. We can get into like why they're standouts, all that. I think that's the best way to do it.
Okay.
So, who would be your first standout from this season of Lucha Underground?
First standout, and it's an underrated one that we've mentioned a lot on the midweek wars of his performance on episodes of Lucha Underground this season. Mine's gonna go to Marty the Moth.
Yeah.
I think Marty really came into his own this season. And it was really fun to see. It was fun to see him progress as a character. It was fun to see just how he's developed over time, and he really had not just full circle, storyline wise, but he had some really fun matches this season, and I'm really happy to see that he's come along as sort of a real full-fleshed character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, not only we got to see a really satisfying end with Sexy Star beating both Marty and Mariposa to get the Gift of the Gods title.
Right.
But we also got to see a really cool side story with Marty the Moth and Killshot.
Yeah.
Like that whole stealing the dog tags, fucking great. It was really, really good, and it was very, very subtly done. And Lucha Underground is always really good with the subtleties. Always really good.
Totally, yeah.
All right, so yeah, Marty had a lot of great moments this year. I'm gonna give my first standout, Taya.
Yeah.
Taya. Oh my God, Taya.
I think from her first match in the Temple, the match with Cage, I immediately sold me on her.
I mean, she fit when Lucha Underground season 1 ended. We had Melina coming out to aid Johnny Mundo against Alberto El Patron. Think about that sentence for a second and how much none of it would work now.
A lot has changed.
I think if they had continued with the idea of Melina being with Mundo, this season could have gone vastly differently.
Totally.
But Taya and Mundo fit. They fit together. I don't know if Taya adjusted her ring attire to match Mundo's more, or if that's just the way she dressed on the indies. But damn, she compliments Mundo in every regard, and Mundo still doesn't have to act like he gives a shit about her, which is great.
Yeah.
Like everything Taya did was awesome. Yeah. I mean, she even has the same windswept entrance now, which is just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Taya was definitely my standout. That match that she had with Cage, that may still be one of my favorite matches of the season, just because of how hard hitting it was.
Yeah.
Like, and Taya gave as good as she took. Like, not many people can go toe to toe with Cage, as proven by his feud with Chavo. Like, like I'd much rather see Taya versus Cage than like Chavo versus Cage. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. So how about your next standout, Eamon?
My next standout actually is another member of the Worldwide Underground / Lucha Wild Stallions, and that's Jack Evans. I think we said it almost every week of that season. Jack Evans was so good, so good.
Mm-hmm. There are only two people in professional wrestling I want mic'd up during all their matches: Kevin Owens and Jack Evans.
Yeah, I also really love that in promo package, in sort of online promo packages. I love that they used one of my favorite lines was him. I think in one of the trios matches where they're facing the Song Trios team involving particularly Son of Havoc and Evil East, where Jack Evans just goes, "I am the baddest bitch." Jack is so good, and I had such an idea of Jack before him coming to Lucha Underground. Like I knew his kind of hip hop gimmick that he did in Ring of Honor and stuff like that, and I kind of knew, okay, he's the flippy guy, but he's so much more than that, and he really showed a new side of him in Lucha, and it was beautiful. It was perfect.
He's probably the most meta wrestler Lucha Underground has. Because he'll just legit like call out things like, no, you watch how I do it. All right, and you know, these are our personal standouts. I don't even think we're gonna get to some of the big guys like Pentagon and Rey and stuff like that, because those guys are already established. We're talking about the under the radar people. At least I am. That's what I'm going for, because the big angles we will get to, I promise you. But my second standout, Eamon, and I think you're gonna agree with me on this. Famous B.
Yeah.
Famous B. The man did not have one match. Yet it was one of the most compelling things on Lucha Underground this season. He was really
he was a running joke with us last season.
Yeah.
Because he was one that him and Ricky Mandel was like the two jobber guys. They weren't the focal points at all of Lucha Underground, and the fact that he got a story now and he's doing stuff and really became such a fun character is so cool.
And you know what? He's a great manager.
Yeah.
Wrestling needs more great managers. Like, Bobby Heenan was a wrestler before he became a manager. There's no reason this can't work for Famous B too.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Famous B. First he came out with the commercials. The commercials where he turned Brenda, who was, if you recall, #toe up from the flow up,
yes,
into a bombshell knockout Brenda, who was in love with Masquerita Sagrada. In love. Like telenovela, heart eye emoji, love. It was amazing. And then, the fact that Famous B's first client was Masquerita Sagrada, and he got him a lot of different opportunities. Like, he got him a match against Cage for the Gift of the Gods title. He got him matches for the medallions. He got him a lot. Masquerita Sagrada's record tumbled when he was represented by Famous B. Then Famous B just dumped him, and we all thought the story was done, or we thought it was going to be maybe like Sagrada versus Famous B or something like that. And then, oh no, I'm sorry, he found Dr. Wagner.
Yeah.
Just amazing. Just really, really good times. It was so much fun. I love
really fun stuff.
And plus, unlike some other companies, his hotline actually worked.
Sure that.
Yes. All right, Eamon, who was your final under the radar standout this year?
Under the radar, and this is the guy that I guess you could argue was established beforehand, but I think a lot of people, this was to me, this was his season also in many ways, and is almost, it's almost sad because he's not as talked about now, but it's Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He had a great season this year.
He was Lucha Underground champion.
Was Lucha Underground champion. The first half of the season, he was amazing. You know, the matches he had with Cuerno, you know, that match where he beat Mill was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
His participation in Aztec Warfare was great. Even the stuff he was doing in the trio stuff afterwards is really great. I think Phoenix really showed how much of a player he was in this season. And I just want more things for him because I think he can be up there with some of the, you know, with some of, as you could say, like the faces of Lucha Underground. Like he can be the face of that company.
Yeah, like something Lucha Underground does really well, and it definitely applies to Phoenix, is they'll give you tastes of guys in the main event scene, but they won't keep them there so long where you get annoyed of them like WWE does occasionally.
Sure.
And by occasionally, I mean all the time. Like like seeing Phoenix move down to the trios title it refreshed his character.
Yeah.
Because like we got to see the Lucha Power Rangers against the Lucha Wild Stallions. I mean, come on. That was, I would say, easily the best match of Ultima Lucha Part Dos.
I would say so, yeah. I mean, you know, he's also first ever Triple Crown Lucha Underground champion, you know, with the Gift of the Gods, the Trios titles, and with this. So, you know, I think he's really a totalitarian player for Lucha. He's very essential in that company. I think this season he kind of proved that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, my final under the radar guy is I'm gonna go El Dragon Azteca Jr.
Oh yeah,
yeah. A guy who we only saw bits and pieces of in the first season in backstage clips. He finally debuted this season. Rey Mysterio brought him to the temple, and wow, just super impressive. Hashtag pizza DDT. I mean, come on. Like, just, I did not know what to expect for his matches coming in. He was just super impressive in every single match he had, except for maybe the Ultima Lucha one. But no,
it was still impressive, but it, you know, obviously impromptu. But I mean, I think to that match he had with Puma though, right before Ultima Lucha, that match is so good, and I love the story, and I love the fact that he's kind of almost in the same way of a Prince Puma in the early stages of Lucha Underground, and that just makes me think he's got so much more going. You know, he's got so much more ahead of him in his company.
He reminded me of Hoovy in WCW.
Yeah.
Like you know he's got talent, but he's not at that upper echelon of the guys that he's in the ring with yet. But he's
right. He's not. Yeah, I think he has like you said, first couple times he stepped in the ring, he got himself out of it.
Mm-hmm.
He was amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible. All right, so Eamon, was there anyone this season who took a back seat for you, like who you were disappointed in?
Oh God, that's hard to say. Took a back seat. I won't say took a back seat. I wish, and I'll say this in preface of saying I don't know what's going to happen in season 3, so stuff may improve from there. I think the only kind of bad for season 3 that I wish we would have gotten more of was from Sinestro de la Muerte.
Okay.
Just because that the scene where he finally separates from the Disciples of Death by literally ripping the hearts out of their chest. Amazing. It's so good. And he kind of fell into under the radar throughout the rest of the season. He was kind of in the multi-mans and like wasn't really a focus. So that was my only kind of disappointment is I wanted to see more from him. But yeah, I that's kind of the only one that kind of sticks out to me.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. And I hate to say it's because he was probably involved in my favorite match this season. I'm gonna say Drago.
I would have loved to see more from Drago. Oh, and Eros, though, really.
Yeah,
Like I think.
I mean, Aerostar was still always kind of like mid card, even in season 1. Like Aerostar never really got the big push that he wanted. I mean, that we wanted for him. But Drago was a big deal in season 1, and he was a very below the radar player this year.
I mean, he had good stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like his stuff was kind of spaced in between. Like he would have something, and then it would be a couple weeks would go by before you would see him again.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened sometime with Lucha Underground, obviously. But I think like he was kind of one that kind of had the most space in between his stuff. Like he still had like the nunchuck match is great. It's really awesome.
Like I said, the nunchuck match I think might be my favorite match of this season, just because nunchuck match.
Right.
Naturally, nunchuck match.
And I'm sure. I mean, he's 1/3 of the trios champions now, so we'll surely be seeing more of him. But
yeah, absolutely.
I can see what you're saying.
Okay, now I'm gonna do a slight prediction thing, Eamon.
Okay.
Is there anyone who you think is going to dominate season 3?
Who I think going to dominate season?
Yeah, like we're going to be seeing a lot of them, and they're going to really take it up a notch.
You know what? Someone who we saw at Ultima Lucha, who I think has that big potential of being somebody that's going to do a lot and shake up season 3, I think goes to Nightclaw.
Okay, yeah.
Nightclaw was a lot like El Dragon Attacker Jr., where he immediately got himself over. His first match at Ultima Lucha, I was like, he's amazing. He's awesome.
The Lucha T'Challa. Like, yes.
Yeah, he was really cool.
For me, I think it's... Now, I kind of want to say one, but that gets more into the talk about the trailer, so I won't say that.
Yeah,
I won't say
know what
that.
you're thinking of.
But I'm gonna say Joey Ryan. I'm gonna say Joey Ryan because I feel like, and Joey Ryan was very close to being one of my under the radar guys, except we didn't get to see enough of him.
Yeah.
I want to see a lot more.
That match with Masquerade Sagrada is really amazing. That's one that sticks out for me as far as like the stuff Joey did.
Yeah, and Joey just had a lot of fun. He had a lot of fun segments too. Like, I'm not gonna say they brought him in strictly for the segments because I know they didn't because he's a great wrestler. Mm-hmm. But now that their cover is blown, it's gonna be interesting to see how these guys are dealt with. I think. Like him and Cortez, I think it's going to be really, really interesting. And I think that's going to be a huge sticking point with Season 3 because I'm sure that guy in the limo is none too happy that he had undercover cops in the temple.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure he's none too pleased about that. So, yeah, I think that might be a good way to go. All right, so Eamon, what do you think? If you can narrow it down to one match, or actually, we'll go back and forth. Top 2 matches for each of us, okay?
Okay.
Top 2 matches for Lucha Underground. What will be one of yours?
I think I know mine. I hope that I don't repeat. My first would be Aztec Warfare.
Wow. Okay.
Such fun match. Like really, really fun. Full of action. We said when it happened, they got the Royal Rumble concept right. They knew. They took a match concept that has its issues and made it better, and it's awesome. I think that, and so much important stuff happened. The introduction of Matanza, Dario coming back, like it was an amazing kind of middle point for Lucha season 2.
Yeah,
that match.
To have that be the debut of the monster Matanza Cueto, and then have him just wreck everyone that was in the ring was amazing. Like, and it did 2 things simultaneously because remember, Mill was supposed to be entrant number 20 in that match, and he didn't really get into the ring because that's when Pentagon attacked him.
Yeah.
So like that set up a lot of stuff for the end of the season, pretty much. Because like Pentagon wasn't allowed to be in Aztec Warfare, and Pentagon basically made sure that Mill wasn't going to get a fair shake in it. So it was really kind of cool the way they did that. My first one, I'm not gonna say nunchuck match, because I've already talked about it.
Yeah.
I might say it second, but the first one I'm gonna say is the no mas match.
That was gonna be my second.
Damn, sorry.
No, I got another one, but
Okay.
that was gonna be.
Oh, the fucking no mas match. Like, we haven't seen a match like that in a long ass time. Like, it was basically the Lucha version of an I Quit match. Sexy Star and Mariposa went all over the temple, like to the point they were climbing in the rafters. Like, I feared for lives of people in that match.
Yeah,
it was ridiculously hardcore, and I have to say that finish where Mariposa is like asking Sexy Star if she wants to quit, and she just screams, "Fuck you." Perfect. So that's like what we want to see from an I Quit match, because it's the intensity, it's the fire. Like, that's the can never say die attitude that we need more of in wrestling. Maybe not the obscenity, but that's the intensity that you need.
If you watch, like, I think the most famous I Quit match for most people of all time was the Mankind Rock one from Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, because I think a lot of people remember that match for the chair shots, but it's the stuff in between it that's so good. Like, and it's that stuff, like, it's a lot of that stuff. Like, there's parts where, like, Rock would be asked if he quits, and he just yells, telling Mankind to go piss himself. Like,
yeah.
Stuff like that's so fucking good. Like, it's selling that emotion. It's doing more than just having a gimmick match. Like, it's actually telling a story.
Or even, like, there was a point, I think it was in that match, where Rock grabs the microphone. He's like, "Hey, Mankind, do you want to quit?" "No, you don't want to quit yet. The Rock's not through beating your ass." And he just gives the microphone back and starts beating him up more. Like, it's stuff like that and worse. Using
the stipulations as tools to, like, you know, really sell a story or to build this character is what should be done. You know.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because we thought that was the end of the Sexy Star and the Moths match, and it wasn't. Like, they were able to revive the feud, which I didn't think could have or should have been done, but it worked.
It still worked.
It damn sure worked. It damn sure worked. All right, so what will be your second match, Eamon?
My second is actually the very last match of season 2, and that is Prince Puma versus Rey Mysterio. That's Lucha Underground. I think the whole concept of Lucha Underground coming full circle. Lucha Libre to a new audience in a new style, you know, with a guy who was king of Lucha Libre for years against a guy who is the top cruiserweight right now, I feel. So good. So good. Mysterio, this whole season, proving that he can still hang was amazing. There's not enough great things I can say about that.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio, I'm not sure if it's the time off he had. I'm not sure if he was just more invested in Lucha than he was in his later WWE years. It might just be that he's leaner. Because he was a lot lighter than he was back in WWE. It might be a happy combination of all those things, but Mysterio killed it this year. Really did. And he brought a certain gravitas to Lucha Underground that guys like Del Rio, as much as we love him, couldn't bring. Like Mysterio has the bona fides. Like, he is Lucha Libre.
Mysterio is Lucha Libre to people both in Mexico and in the United States.
Yeah.
Is the thing. You know, Del Rio was popular in, you know, he reached the level in WWE, obviously, but people knew of his stuff in Mexico, but he wasn't the star that Mysterio was.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it didn't help that he had different names and different promotions, but
like, even still, like, Mysterio is a bona fide legend. Like, he is he will go down as one of the best Lucha Libre competitors of all time.
He will eventually be in the WWE Hall of Fame, no question. Not a doubt in my mind about that. And actually, that'll be a really good induction. Maybe the next time they're over in California, they can induct him.
I really want to see that now because like this whole season, because I got so pessimistic about Mysterio, as a lot of us I think did during his tail end of his WWE run. But like that dude is so amazing, and he really transcended a lot of wrestling for throughout the '90s. Like he brought lucha libre, he brought that style of wrestling to America, and he is without a doubt the cornerstone of it. He wrestling is like it is today. If it wasn't for Mysterio, there wouldn't be a lot of these guys doing the stuff they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope he's back for season 3. I think it looked like he was based on the trailer.
Yeah.
All right, so my second match, it's got to be a nunchuck fight.
Yeah, the nunchuck fight's great.
The nunchuck fight is so damn good, you guys. I said this when it happened. I don't care. I am a sucker for a nunchuck fight where you actually use the nunchucks. Mm-hmm. Because it's funny, both TNA and WWE tried to use nunchucks this year and both failed.
Yep.
WWE, Lucha Underground used nunchucks. Like the 4 men involved, Jack Evans, Drago, Aerostar, and PJ Black, all know how to use nunchucks. Like they actually know how to use them and use them well, and they actually it was a brutal match. Right. I would have loved to see like the welts on the guys after the nunchucks. Like it was just really, really good. I can't help it. Like watch the match, find the nunchuck match. It's available online. I know you can watch it. I actually showed the nunchuck match to one of my friends who does not watch professional wrestling, does not watch it at all. But I told her the story behind it. And I said, so there's this guy who is a living, breathing dragon, and he was defeated by a cocky asshole who called himself the Dragon Slayer, and then he and his buddy, a former Daredevil werewolf character, he assaulted the dragon in a bathroom, and he was saved by a time-traveling Iron Man with nunchucks. And she's like, I want to see that match. I'm like, I will find it for you.
Right.
And she's like, okay, that was incredible. So if you guys, if you ever want to try to introduce a lady friend to wrestling, nunchuck match. That's a pro tip. Good
stuff.
Do you have any more matches you want to talk about, Eamon? Were there any more that...
There's a lot of underrated ones, obviously. We mentioned kind of Cage Taya is one I think people should seek out. There's a great the trios of Mysterio, Puma, and Dragon Azteca against, I think, Mundo, Taya, and Cage is so good. It's unbelievably good. I'd also give credit to little ones like the Muertes Evil East match from episode 1. Like stuff like that to me.
Oh yeah, because we thought Evil East could have won that.
Yeah.
They made that really, really good.
They did a really good job this whole season of delivering just stellar matches after stellar matches. Really, really fun stuff. I mentioned even Muertes and Phoenix is another one that was awesome. Like told an amazing story. Yeah, so much good stuff.
And also Graver Consequences.
Graver Consequences was really good one.
Fun. Yeah, really, really
fun. A lot of the Matanza matches, like Matanza and Phoenix is good. Matanza and Cage was awesome.
Yeah, Matanza and Cage they just beat the crap out of it. Oh, and we have to mention the 4 unique opportunity. Mm-hmm. All of that.
That was
all
really
of
good,
that. Yeah. Like the bar fight between Cage and Havoc.
No, it was Havoc and Tejano.
Havoc and Tejano. That's right. Yeah, Cage and Mac had a street fight, which was also awesome. There was a piñata involved in that one. You need to see it.
Another good one is like a really good underrated one. If you really want to like get excited about a wrestler you may have lost excitement for in the past, Cage versus Chavo is really, really good. That was a really, really fun match. I really found Arrow again. Like it was awesome.
Yeah, so much so we thought Chavo Guerrero might have been Nightclaw.
Yeah.
And then we saw Nightclaw wrestle, and we're like, "Whoop, that ain't Chavo."
No way. stuff. I definitely seek out it, and there's a good Marty Moth shot. That many I can think of. They're awesome.
Okay, I don't expect really much discussion. Were there any matches that had you underwhelmed?
Underwhelmed. I can't think of one that I was completely underwhelmed by.
Because I have one. I'll go first.
Okay.
The Pentagon Matanza match from Ultima Lucha.
Okay, yeah. Just because you expected something different from it, I feel.
Yeah, because and I thought they were gonna make it a Sarah Miedo match because that's been the trend, but it just seemed like for all they did to build up Pentagon, to have him not win, and two, have him not win in such a blasé fashion. It seemed. Obviously, it looks like it's building up to something else entirely, and I get that. I get there's another story being told here. Like it's not Pentagon's time for that, but it felt like it was a disservice. It felt like it was a disservice to, like, we could have had some other better matches, I think, for Ultima Lucha. Like, you could have done this on a week before Ultima Lucha, and then maybe not have Pentagon show up until the very end when he attacks Vampiro.
Okay, yeah. Or maybe if it's on, like, the second episode of Ultima Lucha or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing, and I don't think you and I talked about it. I think the match placement of Ultima Lucha was a little screwed up.
Slightly,
because you had the match with El Dragon Azteca and Black Lotus on the same show as Pentagon and Matanza, and they definitely shouldn't have been.
Well, I think it's also because they tried to. Well, didn't they transition like immediately after that match because Pentagon was already in the ring? Or am I mistaken?
No, Pentagon wasn't already in the ring.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I would have changed some of the match order up around a bit. Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's. I was gonna say maybe the first Pentagon Matanza match, just because I obviously tried to tell a story with it of him breaking his back. I don't know. I just kind of wanted a little bit more of gruesomeness out of it. I guess if that was the story, so to speak. Mm-hmm. That's probably the only one I could think of as far as kind of underwhelming,
Okay. I'll also say the Dragon Azteca Black Lotus because
that match. Like, I know it ended weird, but like that for what they did, they were amazing.
Yeah, but the match was fine. It's just the finish, which was no finish, and Pentagon breaking both of their arms. We wanted to see how that story ended, like so badly, so viscerally, because it's been building up for the entire year.
Yeah. And
we didn't get that payoff. And Lucha Underground is usually really, really good with the payoffs, and that one it fell flat for me.
Yeah. And who knows? Again, as I mentioned, we don't know what's going to happen in season 3.
Of course, and judging by the trailer, something interesting is happening with that.
I will say, as far as underrated people who I think can do a lot in season 3, Black Lotus. Holy crap, she was like kind of out of nowhere. As far like we knew nothing about her wrestling, we knew nothing what to expect from her in ring, and then Ultima Lucha happened, and she was about to finish aside. It was fucking amazing, like so good. Like I'm so excited to see. I want her to definitely wrestle more. I want to see her, be as amazing as she was in that match.
Right. Okay. Now, Eamon, I think this is going to be the last thing we talk about before we hit on a few other stories that we missed. What was your favorite backstage segment or video package?
Oh, no, don't do this to me.
Okay, two each.
Okay. I'll steal one of yours, probably, and it's the bathroom nunchuck fight.
Damn it! That's fine. I stole your No Moss match.
Yeah, that's fair. It's so crazy. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. There's nothing. It speaks for itself.
It's a bathroom nunchuck fight.
Yeah.
And didn't Aerostar's nunchucks glow in the dark?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fucking glow in the dark nunchucks. I mean, come on. Like, any opportunity I get to use the quote from Ninja Turtles, "Oh, a fellow chucker, eh?" That's always going to be a good segment. That's always going to be a good segment. My one of my favorites, the Killshot backstory.
Yeah, that one's good.
Oh my god. So like it was shot like a movie, and I was surprised it wasn't like nominated for an Oscar or something. It was just really, really well done for someone that we got literally nothing on season 1. And then we get this whole thing about how Killshot was like an assassin brought in to the army and everything like that, and he had his dog tag. Like, just really, really, that segment you can definitely find online. I advise you to watch it. It will immediately make you invested in everything Killshot does, which, granted, isn't that much this season, but it's enough to where he's just super compelling. All right, how about you, Eamon? Another one?
My second one, I'm in between on two. I'm gonna go with the one I feel the definitive one for me was the first segment of season 2.
Damn it, that was gonna be mine.
The Vampiro hospital segment. It's so good. It's such the perfect kickoff to the season. It gets you invested. It gets you involved.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't see it, Vampiro actually has a dream sequence where he is in a psych ward and he bites the neck of his therapist and escapes by killing all the orderlies.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's really, really well done. All right, mine, I'm going to go with any segment, any video package where we see just random luchadors in a bar destroyed.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of them. Like, I know Taya had one. Cobra Moon had one.
PJ's wasn't in a bar, but it was. He was like fighting off. He was like fighting off dudes in masks.
Yeah, PJ's looked more like a double dragon scene. I believe Son of Havoc even had one in a motorcycle bar, right? Or am I thinking of the trailer?
I think you may be thinking of the trailer.
I might be thinking of the trailer. But yeah, just I want to live in that world of Lucha Underground where there are just random dudes in lucha masks hanging out at a bar.
Yeah.
And then getting their asses kicked. But another supplemental one, and I thought of this as I was saying the lucha mask one. Mil Muertes being collected by King Cuerno.
That's good too.
Just really, because after Graver Consequences, Mil Muertes lost to Matanza, and you see the little the Dia de los Muertos druids wheeling him out, and at the head of it, the guy takes off his mask, and it's King Cuerno essentially stealing the body of Mil Muertes.
Mm-hmm.
He puts him up in a Lexan box in his trophy room. It's amazing.
I was going to supplemental one, get the third, was the one where we find out Aerostar can time travel.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Because didn't this show like 1,000,000 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, some like Indian reservation and stuff like that, and they're like not Indian, but like Aztec, thing or whatever. And like Aerostar just shows up out of nowhere in his full body suit. It's so perfect.
Full body suit, LED lights, like everything. I'm like, oh, so not only is he Iron Man, he's a TARDIS.
Yeah,
he is another
supplemental one goes to the opening of the last episode, which is the Pentagon fighting himself sort of segment.
Oh, you mean the Star Wars segment?
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's so good. Pentagon
and Vampiro essentially recreate Luke training in the Dagobah cave scene, and it's fucking awesome. Also, we haven't even mentioned him. Everything with Dario Cueto.
Yeah.
Every goddamn thing with Dario Cueto. Like, from him not wanting to say the word bitch around Taya and Sexy Star and Ivelisse. Awesome. To him talking to Lorenzo Lamas, of all people. who's the what was his name again?
I can't even remember.
Oh, the Joseph's gonna kill us. I can't think of it.
Yeah, he was the fuck. He was the head of the police force or whatever.
Yeah, he's not a commissioner. He's something else.
Those lines.
Yeah, but he was awesome. And there's a scene with them in a limo together, and they're apparently talking to a higher power. It's not Vince McMahon, as far as we know. But yeah, everything with Dario Cueto, he's just so good. He brings, and he got to stretch his legs as a manager more this year too because of Matanza.
He was a great manager this year.
He really was. Not afraid to get his hands dirty either. Not afraid. He was really, really good. All right, so I think that's it for backstage segments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now Eamon. Anything else that we didn't cover? What were your favorite things that we didn't talk about in breaking this down?
Oh my god. Jeez,
I think we hit a lot of ground of season 1.
We did, yeah. We covered a lot of the groundwork. Just to reiterate, I think the Sexy Star story as a whole is amazing. The Muertes story is amazing. Just so much. It really was so much good this season that I can't even put into words. I thought this was an amazing season and really kept me invested in everything that they were doing.
Okay, yeah, I really can't think of anything that we haven't hit on. Like, I'm trying to just go through. Like, we saw a lot of title changes, which I thought were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't really think of anything else. I think we pretty much hit on it.
I think we got it.
All right.
Do you want to dive into what we're going to dive into?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. Okay, so what we're going to do now, if you're not familiar with a watch party, what we do is Eamon and I have the link for the Lucha Underground trailer. It's 2 minutes long. And we will put the link for this in the description of this show, so you can watch along with us. I'm actually putting it in there as we speak right now. So when we say 3, 2, 1, play, you can click along. You can click on the link with us, and you can follow along. And it's just going to be Eamon and I asking a lot of questions, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Because, Eamon, how many times have you watched this trailer?
God, I want to say like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot in it.
There's a whole lot, and Matt Carlins wanted to be here tonight. He just got back from a vacation. Stay tuned to WrestlingMayhemShow.com. He is going to be having a full trailer breakdown with screen grabs and everything. I believe he told me he had something like upwards of 60 different screen grabs from the trailer. So stay tuned to that for a much fuller analysis. But right now, this is going to be me and Eamon just kind of wondering what the fuck is going on for Season 3. All right, Eamon, are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
Do you have your browser up?
I do.
All right. Okay, I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, play. And when I say play, we both hit play, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we get Johnny Mundo doing some Tai Chi. That looks very peaceful. And that is Rey, right? Leaning down there?
Yeah, that's Rey praying in front of some statue. Or not statue, but like artwork.
Okay.
There's Cobra Moon.
I don't know who that is.
Muertes in a suit.
You got to have Muertes in a suit. We just saw a brief glimpse of something we'll get to in this trailer.
Oh, Melissa Santos in Phoenix.
That is not Melissa Santos in Phoenix.
That has to be Melissa Santos.
It does not have to be her. And Prince Puma looks like he's gearing up for a big fight.
Dario's looking at something.
Cowboy
the tip in his hat.
I still don't. All right. Someone has a goddamn sword.
Black Lotus.
What the
And
fuck
Paul
are
London-
those?
Paul London is a magician.
That was
or
Paul
something.
London. Okay, I didn't know that was Paul London. Paul London is leading like Lucha Oddities.
There's a fifth wild stallion. There's somebody in like some red something that's attacking El Dragon Azteca.
And Cobra Moon has a temple. Cobra Moon has a temple of the Cobras. And apparently, yeah. That guy in the suit, I think, is the other guy in the limo.
Marty's wrapped himself up.
Marty's tied up. I want to know who that redhead girl is that was fighting.
I think so I think the person Daga's got a sword.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, there's so much going on. Someone looked.
And Vampiro grips Prince Puma.
God, yeah. Oh, and Drago spits fire.
Yeah.
Legitimately spits fire in the Temple of Cobra Moon.
I think so the person who is being like interrogated, part of that scene, and I think also the guy I'm pretty sure is the guy that's running in one of the earlier scenes. I believe it's A.R. Fox.
Oh, okay.
Which I think will be an interesting addition. Yeah.
So that was Paul London with the crazy guys, right?
Yeah, it's definitely Paul London.
Okay, I didn't recognize him.
He's definitely some weird clown something or other. I don't know what's going on.
It looked like the Lucha Oddities to me.
Yeah, kind of. I'm just going through this. I'm telling you that's Melissa Santos. That's with
I
Phoenix.
really don't think it is.
That's totally her. Like I'm watching it now. It's totally her.
Okay, I don't think it is. So now I have a question. Based on this trailer, it kind of looks like Vampiro is going to recruit Puma.
Yes. Or
that's really cool.
Or even the idea that like Vampiro is like kind of back to that side of him. Obviously, he stopped taking his pills and stuff like that, but it's clear that Pentagon Dark didn't really like take out, Vampiro in the sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he took out Ian. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, now one thing we have to talk about. Black Lotus has ninjas.
Black Lotus has ninjas.
Did you pick up on that?
I did see.
Black Lotus has ninjas.
There's also we didn't get to mention as going through it because it was going so fast. There's a clip of Son of Havoc fighting what looks like another Son of Havoc.
That's where I thought that I got confused because I just assume all bikers are like that now. And who is the other guy with Worldwide Underground?
No clue. There's another guy. He looks exactly like Johnny Mundo, but
because there's definitely, like I'm looking at right now, there's definitely Taya, Jack Evans, Mundo, and
I'm
PJ
paused
Black.
on it now. The guy almost kind of looks like a Sean Waltman, but it's definitely not Sean Waltman.
He kind of looks like Chris Harris. I know it's not Chris Harris, but it kind of looks like Chris Harris.
I have no idea who that is.
I'm super excited to find out.
It's holy crap.
Because PJ Black is still brandishing nunchucks, and I'm okay.
I can't tell. Is Jack Evans playing a flute or something? I don't know what's going on here.
I think that's a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
I think that, and it looks like he has two different crosses. I don't know.
So this is insane.
Yeah, I can't wait for Matt Collins to break down this whole thing. Who's the person in the red cape going after El Dragon Azteca?
Oh, I have no clue.
Like, did you ever see the movie The Village? It kind of looks like the monster from that.
A little bit, yeah. Jeez, this is amazing.
And can we talk about the Temple of Cobra Moon?
Yeah, that's interesting. Also, Daga, like, big storyline development, him getting in a sword fight.
I wonder if he's getting in a sword fight with the Black Lotus clan, which I'm going to call them.
Possibly.
Also, all right, Eamon, go right to 1 minute 15 seconds.
Okay.
I think that is the dude in the limousine.
Possibly.
I don't know who that is.
He seems like an actor.
Yeah. I assume it's an actor now that I'm really thinking about it. But he doesn't look happy.
And there's I'm just scrolling through stuff. There's this part where like towards like the 141 mark, there's somebody you get a glimpse clearly being attacked. If you pause it on 141, it's definitely in Helico.
Oh, so that maybe they'll show us what happened to him?
Possibly.
Yeah, it's definitely in Helico, yeah.
And
you roboted out a little bit. What'd you say?
I say if you and we're going through a lot of this. If you stop it at 40, there's definitely a new face at Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm. Wait, at 140?
At 140.
Oh, who is that?
Someone familiar who we've talked about on Midweek Wars before, a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. Just tell me who it is, because I'm not.
It seems like it's the former Solomon Crow.
Oh, okay. Huh. So Sammy Callahan, that should be interesting.
Yeah, the guy being interrogated is definitely AR Fox.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of new additions this season. A lot of clearly a lot of developments.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot happening in here. Like I'm trying to scan through to see and why is Mario the Moth tied up?
I have no idea. He seems to be enjoying himself, but
it's true. Yeah, but it looks like Sexy Star and Mariposa are still fighting. There's really a lot of stuff happening.
We're very excited to figure out what's going to be happening this season, because from right now we don't know.
I still want to know why Drago is actually spitting fire.
Yes. Oh man.
Oh god, this is gonna be really great. I'm super excited for it, Eamon. Okay. Yeah, so that is our analysis of the trailer for Season 3. I hope we get another trailer before the season actually starts. I don't know if we will. I kind of hope we do. If not, stay tuned to the Mayhem show. We will be getting Chris and Joseph on before the season starts. We have to firm up dates and everything, but once we do, we'll let you know here on the Midweek War and on the main show. But yeah, we're going to try and get as much information out of him as we can, and he will give us nothing. he will give us no quarter. All right. So Eamon, anything else from Lucha before we wrap this up?
I'm excited. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, me too. All right. Eamon, where can the good people of the internet find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Eamon2Please. You can also check out the wrestling promotion I'm involved with, Inspire Pro Wrestling, over at inspireprowrestling.com.
All right, and you can find me at MadMike4883 on the Twitter machine. Also, when Lucha comes back, be sure to hit up the hashtag MM, as I will be live tweeting it once again. But yeah, if you have any questions about Lucha Underground, if you're a little behind and just catching up, send us emails. We'll answer emails about Lucha Underground. We'll probably answer them on the main show until the show comes back. But yeah, hit up the email address goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. Also, be on the lookout for Matt Carlin's article breaking down this trailer, because there is a lot happening in 2 minutes. And if you read Matt Carlin's article on the trailer last year, you know what to expect. He really gets into the nitty-gritty on it. All right, so for Eamon Paton, I'm Mad Mike, and this has been your Midweek War!